Hey guys, happy Black Month. It's always a Black Month for me. Every single day, every single month. It's intuitive 144. I'm juicy and I'm popping, okay? What can I really say? No, but I'm a psychic medium. I read a physical medium, and I'm going to be doing Augustus Jackson, all right? But first, I'm having a Valentine's Day special. It ends the 14th. An hour for $75. If you don't take advantage of it, well then Bookie, my prices is going back. After the 14th, my prices are going back up to $144 for an hour and $72 for a 30-minute reading. But if you smart, you would take advantage of my Valentine's Day special. And please stop coming in my DMs, window shopping, these fucking questions, asking me this, asking me that, asking me this, asking me that, with no motherfucking intentions on paying. Y'all are annoying. But we're not going to do this on Augustus Jackson's video. Yeah. So let's begin for Augustus Jackson, okay? So Spirit said he was autistic and socially awkward. However, his autism and social awkwardness put him in alignment of being creative, being diverse, and making ice cream, or his version of inventing a better version of ice cream. Because I was told that he didn't really invent ice cream. It's something with him adding salt, which made the ice cream more of a soft serve. All right. However, his autism and his social awkwardness put him in alignment of, being gifted and different. It's very similar to Jean-Michel Basquiat, who, he stayed in his basement a lot of times and he just painted. He was just creative in his basement, okay? Not really realizing the legacy that he was creating with his art, okay? And I keep feeling like Augustus, had that similar energy. But, besides that, I kept feeling like in the vision, because I was meditating on his energy, Augustus was often bullied for being dark-skinned. And imagine being dark-skinned in those times. Not even imagine being dark-skinned in those times. Unfortunately, my babies, my sweet dark-skinned babies are still going through, these fucking nuts. But just imagine back then, being dark-skinned, being autistic, and back then they weren't really educated on what autism was. And just imagine being dark-skinned, autistic and being socially awkward back then, right? It just puts you in a space of being bullied, and it puts you in a space of not really wanting to be next to people, okay? And it feels like he did just that. He became a recluse because of that, okay? And I also noticed a lot of gifted people, a lot of creative people tend to be a recluse. Because I don't have my back piece in. But yeah, so he was a recluse, okay? And it also feels like he had a hard time paying attention to anything other than his craft. It's very similar to a kid that has his favorite toy in his hand. And let's say you're trying to ask this kid or your kid, hey, do you want pizza? Do you want chicken nuggets? And they're not really listening to you because they're focused on their toy. And, it just feels like, it was like that for Augustus regarding his craft. But him only being attentive to his craft actually, became a blessing for him. All right. Then Spirit showed me a vision of him starting the process of making ice cream, and a white person walks up to him. It looks like he was working in a building or somewhere, and a white person walks up to him and looks at what he's doing and starts ridiculing him. Oh, you dumb. You don't know what the fuck you doing. Stick to the regular process. We asked you to make donuts and here you are making this whipped cream. We don't want, stuff like that, right? Now, because of his autism, he wasn't really registering what the man was saying. And my brother, is autistic, and I love it because his father is not really a nice person. And because of my brother's autism, my brother does not understand how, I don't want to say the average bear, because you could be autistic and be the average bear, but I'm saying his processing is different. But it's a blessing for my family and I, because we're like, yes, okay, his feelings can't get hurt because he doesn't understand what his dad is saying to him. So yeah, okay. But now I'm saying because of his autism, he wasn't really registering what this man was saying until later. Now I'm sensing that wherever he was like wherever he was often made fun of because of where he was. I don't know. That's just what they said. But let's say it's just something with his environment. They keep showing me a vision of him in a building. I don't know why they keep showing me that. Maybe they're trying to help me make sense of this. But they're saying something in my ear. 1 second. Oh, a factory? This was a factory? Oh, it's a building factory? All right, so there's something with him being, it's kind of like, you know how, let's say you're a social media influencer and you have 2 million followers and then life hits and you have to work at McDonald's. It feels like, you know, how people, on social media would make fun of you. Oh, you was just on here shaking your ass, club this, BBL that, 2 million followers just for you to work at McDonald's. Ha ha ha. But listen, you got to do what you got to do, right? And it just feels like he was made fun of for that, or just something with what he was doing. It just feels like it's kind of like people really want you to hate yourself. Like even when y'all be commenting saying I'm a whale, I'm this, I'm that. Like, girl, yes, I'm big. Like, bitch, you want me to hate myself because I'm fat? No, it's not gonna happen. Like, bitch, I don't hate myself. Y'all be wanting like big people to hate themselves. It's nuts. But it just feels like whatever he was doing, I don't know. It's kind of like a 50-year-old working at McDonald's and getting made fun of it. I don't know. Fun for it. I don't know. I'm not really able to pull from that. But let me go back. Oh my God, my dog is farting, girl. Girl's kind of about to kick his ass out. All right, where am I at? Because that's like really bothering me. Where am I at? That's like really bothering me. All right. So yeah, it just feels like whatever he was doing at a certain age or the environment, it's like eventually he processed the fact that he couldn't grow in a toxic environment, and then he left. All right. Now, I want to say if my readings are all over the place, it's because so is his energy. All right. It literally feels like his thought process was just like this. I miss my father. Vanilla cream icing. How many dyes? How many drops of dye? All right, I'm going to whip the ice cream 67 times clockwise. Don't freeze it for too long. I miss my father. Why is everybody so mean to me? This environment is starting to become too fast-paced for me. That's how his thought process was. At least that's what I got from meditating on his energy, right? Also, there's something with him being very sad. It feels like he had a limited education and he was in an environment that always reminded him of how he was never going to be anything. But he became the opposite of that. He did the opposite of that. And it feels like despite him being an inventor, he struggled with a lot of insecurities, okay? And his processing time was delayed, which made his speech delayed. It feels like if somebody disrespected him, he didn't understand the disrespect until a few hours later. And by then, it made no sense to speak up. At least for him. Okay, bitch, because I'm gonna fuck, bitch. If I'm autistic, I'm gonna fuck, bitch. If I could clock that T 20 hours later, your ass getting cursed the fuck out on the 21st hour. Anyways, it just feels like majority of his life, he worked in a quiet area because noises were too much for him. He was easily overstimulated, but overall, he made the best out of his situations, okay? And it just feels like nowadays, he has received so much praise, right? As he should, but it just doesn't feel like that was a reality back then for him. Very similar to Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat, who didn't really get to see how his legacy played out because he died so suddenly. All right. Thank you guys so much. I am having a Valentine's Day special, $75 for an hour, and it ends February 14th. After that, my prices go back to $72 for a 30-minute reading and $144 for an hour. reading with me. Thank you guys so much. Mwah. Kisses.